right, friends, we're going to play around with contour drawings of plants. So first I'm going to show you an outline of a house plant here. Here is the pot. Here is the leaf. Here is another leaf. I'm kind of looking at this one. And here is another leaf. So when I look at this shape, it is an organic shape and it looks plant-like. But it's kind of hard to decipher exactly what it is because it's just an outline, the outside line. When I'm drawing a contour drawing, I'm including the inside and the outside lines. So let's say, for example, I'm drawing that leaf there. I got that outside line, and now I'm going to draw the inside lines, the veins. So this is a contour. This is an outline. Today, we're doing contour drawings. There are a lot of different kinds of contour drawings you can do. One is called a continuous contour drawing. A continuous contour drawing is one where I don't lift my pencil up. So watch this. To make these veins, I'm going up and I'm kind of tracing back down. This is the time where we practice. My finished result, my piece of art might not be beautiful and perfect, but I'm practicing seeing the leaf or the plant. We're going to play around with a continuous contour drawing in our sketchbook. Again, it might not be the most beautiful thing that I've ever drawn in my whole entire life, but after I do it, I understand what I'm drawing just a little bit better. So there's my continuous contour drawing. Another kind of contour drawing you can do is called a blind contour drawing. This is a contour drawing where I don't look at my paper. So I'm looking only at the picture I'm drawing. I'm making the veins on my leaves. I'm going over and I'm trying to draw my second leaf now. I want it to go behind. I'm making the veins. I'm kind of trying to take my time. It might seem like I'm working quickly, but that's mostly for the sake of this video, so I don't take up too much of your time. Now I kind of went off my paper there, so that's how you know I'm really not looking. I'm going around to the side of my pot and back up. So you can see that it kind of looks like the plant, but not really all that much. So I'm just going to play around with continuous and blind contour drawing in my sketchbook, and then I'm going to move to this paper. It's called vellum paper, and it's see-through, and that's actually going to help us in this lesson. Now that we've played with contour drawings, I do have some step-by-step how to draw these plants for you. We're going to start in pencil and then trace around with marker. For the sake of saving time right now, I'm going to do it straight away in Sharpie marker. Also, I want to let you know that you don't want to make any super tiny lines. If I do make super tiny lines, it'll be hard for me to get those with the marker. This leaf kind of goes behind that one. One going up. And then we're going to color these using colored pencils. I'm going to do a design on my pot. All right, I have one of these done. When I'm coloring this, I can use my color to add value to my piece to make it look a little more 3D. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darker green and I'm going to do around the edges of my leaf with the darker green. That'll make it look like they're folding down a little bit rather than being completely flat. So I think I'm going to do that to each of my leaves. Do dark green around the outside and then a lighter green in the middle. I'm going to add a little color on my stem even though it is just a line. And I'm going to complete multiple leaves like this. Or I'm sorry, not leaves, plants. Maybe like 4 or 5 because we're going to be cutting these out and making our own still life. A still life is a picture of something that doesn't move. Plants, I guess they kind of move very incredibly slowly because they grow. but they don't get up and walk away. So a picture of a bunch of plants would be called a still life. So I'm gonna finish coloring this one and then I'll time lapse you while I make a few more. But you'll notice that I am focusing on craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is how you do something. I'm trying to color nicely because it'll affect the way my artwork is viewed. So now I'll time lapse you while I make a couple more. All right, now we're gonna play with texture for our background. I have these texture plates and they are of natural things. Things like flowers, things like leaves. And all I do is put the texture plate under my paper and take one of these compressed crayons and lay it on its side and move it back and forth. When I get to this point here, you can see that my texture plate needs to be moved. I want to fill my background with different textures, so I'll switch it out here. This is going to be like a wall in our still life, and I have some fun patterned papers to make a table. So this would be like the wallpaper in a house. Now I'm going to choose a paper I like. This is kind of fun. It looks almost like snake scales. I have other ones. Some of them have shells on them, just different things that might be fun to put in your art for a table. So once I pick my table, I'm going to pick it up, flip it to the back, and glue it down to the piece of textured patterned paper I made. Now I'm going to take those plants I created last time, and I'm going to cut them out and place them on my picture plane. This is my picture plane. So some of them, it would be really tricky to get exactly next to it. So I'm just kind of generally cutting out. So if I can't get exactly on my black line, that's totally fine. So there's one of them. And this one would be real tricky, so I'm just going to kind of go in there and then go around the whole outside shape. Stick it down where I like it, and I can kind of play around and move it and see what I like the look of. That's what's fun about this. This one's a hanging one, so I'm gonna have it, rather than sitting on the table, coming from the top. So that one I'm gonna have hang down. And I have one more. And I do want my paper to be balanced, meaning that not all of the plants are on one side like this. If there were a scale, my paper would flip right over. So I want to keep my scale balanced, or about the same on both sides. So this to me feels balanced. I think I'm going to scoot that one over a little bit. Yeah, I think that feels balanced. It's not totally symmetrical or the same on both sides, but it is pretty much. So I'm taking each of these plants I made, I'm adding some glue stick on the back, and I'm sticking it down where I like it. Stick it down, and stick it down. Now I'm gonna flip my paper to the back and give it a good back rub. And when I flip it over, I have a picture of a still life. A still life is a picture of something that doesn't move. These plants are not gonna get up and move on me. This one, although, keeps popping off on me. There we go. It's balanced and it shows that I can create contour drawings. Good job.